Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on Space Coach, I'm going to talk about Finn in The Rise of Skywalker. Not his spread in the visual dictionary, but whether or not he was Force sensitive. That was one of the big things for me from The Force Awakens that I picked up on. That it seemed like from when he first has his awakening, you know, when he gets the mark on his helmet, how that was all shot and cut. It very much looked like he had been awakened and was emerging from, let's say, like a deep sleep, as it were. And that was played on throughout that movie, that scene where you hear the voices of everyone screaming in Hosnian Prime before it happens, but Finn hears it, and then obviously holding the lightsaber and a couple of other little things in there as well. And the fact that he was in a hero coma at the end, he really should, in the next film, have been progressing more down that route. In The Last Jedi, there was nothing at all about whether or not Finn was Force sensitive, which was disappointing for me, because that was just a plot thread, a very interesting one, that was just ignored. The Rise of Skywalker does address this issue, and Finn is Force sensitive. He is definitely Force sensitive. But in the way that Leia was Force sensitive in The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi, where she can sense how she could sense Luke, he could sense Rey. He senses when she's in trouble. He senses when she dies. And apparently there's a scene when they're on the surface of the Star Destroyer, just before they shoot the cannon into it, where BB-8 like opens the lock or something. Apparently originally that was going to be like Finn like opens it with like the Force and said, oh, how did I do that? Like, is that how the Force works? Apparently it is. But yes, I was very pleased that they were at least able to address that in this film, although they weren't able to do that much on that, given, of course, everything else they had to do in that film. But yes, he's Force sensitive, and apparently when he's tried to tell Rey something a couple of times, I was watching, I don't know if it was Collider or Midnight's Edge or someone like that, where it was talking about everything that happened in the production and how that was all changed. Apparently that's what he's going to tell Rey, that he's Force sensitive. How we've done it, I don't know. But yes, it was nice to see that that they addressed that issue and that he is Force sensitive. If this had happened in the second film, then in the third one he could have been Rey's apprentice, I suppose. Strong in the Force, maybe not as strong as her because she's a dyad or half of a dyad, but that would have made for a very interesting movie, because he looks great holding a lightsaber, and he does get to hold a lightsaber again in The Rise of Skywalker, even if it's just as a torch. But I'm sure there's other things as well in there that I haven't picked up on, but haven't seen the film twice now, and I spotted it straight away when someone's going, Rey, or when Finn is going, Rey, and he can't see her, but something's happening to her, then definitely he is Force sensitive. So I'm very pleased about that. I'm sure we will see much more about that in the canon in due course, whatever they're going to do about whatever happened to these characters afterwards, or the tie-in novels that will come out filling in more of the period between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. They'll probably drop some hints in there, or maybe there'll even be Finn Jedi training comic or something at some point. But yes, I was very pleased that they did address that. Finn is Force sensitive, even if it's just only slightly. And they also mentioned as well that was how he, basically kind of how he must have broken out of his programming. That when he mentions things about like he has a feeling and all that sort of stuff. And perhaps the Force, that's why the other stormtroopers, like Janna's tribe, how they break out of their conditioning as well. The Force may have had an influence on them too, though I doubt it's because they are Force sensitive. You can't have too many Force sensitives, because when everybody is Force sensitive, nobody is. But anyway, guys, like I said, Finn is Force sensitive. Hip hip hooray. That character certainly deserved it. I wish they had managed to do something in the second film, because they could have done so much more in the third one if they had, but this is what we've got. At least we now know he is Force sensitive, and I couldn't be happier. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for a upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.